Sigat Matsitan Anugama. Alrighty. Well, first off, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today on such a special occasion. My name is Vernon Lewis, and I will be your MC for this morning and this afternoon too as well. First off, I wanted just to say a big thank you for the elders and the pipe ceremony and the prayers that went out for this occasion this morning. And to start things off this morning, just a little quick look at the agenda that we had. We had the pipe ceremony that took place already. And now, with the opening prayer and honor song, we are going to ask Elder Leonard Fox to come up and say a quick opening prayer, and we'll have Warrior Society do an honor song to start things off. So, Rupiamaton, Aputik Dots.
Taningan na skumta, gisigaw maskap mauhiya. It moskoy to tamagoing yun tawinan. Tayo soy chigun, gagis mototin, kiksewat soon. Agap soy tamoy ang gisramnan, tanagap mausagut no ahumagan. Kid mo ita, hap new matsun. Was kaigan kap soy tamoya. Minutaloy mam skutsigit no ahumagan, tawinan. Yun gigoy, kami selamat snotainan, snamonan, dan kami sisiga, kami upay gigoy hotinigan, yukmat suntegis, amang notawinan, minisogutawan niya kakyo, soy tamonan, minuto man tewa putamuti, tumis kanam kapmusa pastamot, hat, Diyos kanoit, amang notawinan, nagsidmis kagis ito teman, siwatsun, ay.
Hi, thank you very much, Elder Leonard Fox. Everybody say hi for the prayer. Hi. Good stuff. All right, Warrior Society. Ahow, honor song. Nipowigo, we can ask you to stand. Thank you very much. That is a beautiful song on a beautiful day. A lot of people would say that when looking out, it is gloomy outside, but not us as First Nations people. We had a little bit of rain this morning, and that purified the grounds that we walk on, so that's good. Nanas Kumun, thank you very much for joining us, and on to the agenda. Earlier on this morning, as mentioned, we did have the pipe ceremony and the opening prayer, and now the honor song. Hi hi to our drum group, Warrior Society. With the welcoming address that we have, we are going to ask Okinawa Chief Henry Lewis to come up and say a few words too as well. And in terms of our agenda and people who have asked to participate in the opening ceremonies too as well, we have Alana Ross, the MLA on behalf of Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, Seniors and Rural and Remote Health, who will be joining us after Okinawa Henry Lewis. Colleen Young too as well, the MLA for Lloydminster. Thank you very much for joining us. And following that, we have Onion Lake's counselor, Bernadine Harper, who will be doing her presentation too as well, and her acknowledgement of today's activities, Portfolio for Health, Bernadine Harper. And Andrew McLetchie, Vice President of Integrated Northern Health, Saskatchewan Health Authority. And then we have Okinawa's again joining us from the FSIN. We have Dutch Lara, who will be out here to talk with us, and Craig McCollum too as well. So that is the agenda. Again, thank you very much for joining us. If we can have Okinawa Lewis, Hia Nigan Kapepik Swan. Hasta.
Tamalipin nanas kumalasin stay musita ni mayanan kagisipa higuk stegi we pasuna we kong stuna higuk imagwimwe terus kain mo gigo kamantri kami ho ako kapim sagu chihu chen anato mas maskihia iwan utkutao ino nanas como hekoim skomo yak tante kita mo haya ko kitus kain mo magigo magape kagi manisya kita kapito amotsi kita katipi motsi kuiskup matsu anak kau natsaga posta magata bus po kana no kagi sipa agak mansya asay min ngagi sudet to agon imantani maya kuk Hanus oma kapm uskaya o kapm hunehi magagi busta magataboy magana ako magantig hindi na naskunta minapi ako tagat ni po hiya kat ni kanis pamata nagawin uwesta kiri kaguye natamago ya kibniso ni kanin niya Stay na nas kumago gitso amyog. Katago tito wispa. Wapa tiko ako kiwi tatos kiwi ako kanut wapa tina nawan kay disgag yuti tamak kawito na makum. Nagsamin of the himp First of all, I acknowledge the day again. I thank the Creator. I'm sort of emotional because of what we have endured in the past. the young man that's still missing as we speak. May we find the answers that we need in this detox center, a much needed center. I'm sure, and I'm confident to say that we'll be saving lives as we move forward. I thank the delegation that's here today, the MLAs that are here, our Vice Chief from the Federation. It's always an honor to have you with us. Because that's, you know, every back road in our community has been here so much. You know, I'd like to acknowledge a very special person this morning. One of our longest term employees, our health director of Virginia. He has done so much for our nation, and it is time that we need to acknowledge each other when we're alive and well. Not when we're in a coffin. Now is the time to acknowledge each other. I thank the province of Saskatchewan, MLA Colleen. You helped us so much. I met Colleen when we went to Regina not too long ago, coming out, and I asked her, can I help you? And we helped each other. It's safe to say that we have a good working relationship with Saskatchewan Health. It's evident here today. It's evident. On January 22nd, 2020, on the Lake Cree Nation leadership declared a state of emergency due to the high rate of gang and drug activity we were experiencing at the time, and I had experienced 4 deaths in less than 4 weeks. The Onion Lake Cree Nation Chief and Council requested Onion Lake Health Board to develop and establish a detox program in Onion Lake. Meetings started with both governments, federally and provincially. During 2020 and 2022, Onion Lake Cree leadership and technicians requested information from the federal reps and provincial reps that where we could access funding to establish a detox center. In May of 2022, both governments were at the table. And we were told that the province had the mandate to establish a detox center. On the Lake Cree Nation was advised that the province of Saskatchewan tenders out the service, and Onion Lake Health Board was provided with the information to the site to register as a provider and bid for the detox beds. Onion Lake Health Center received RFP in June of 2022 with a close date of September 2022. Onion Lake completed the bid for 25 detox beds. In the province of Saskatchewan at the time, there was no First Nations run detox facilities. In the year of August 2023, Onion Lake Health Board was notified that we were successful in the bid to open the 25-bed detox facility. But for your info, we started off with 15. Hopefully, in time we can go up to 25. The Saskatchewan government, through Saskatchewan Health Authority, has never dealt with any First Nations prior to this approval for the detox facilities. The final agreement was finished after a few months of negotiations. The agreement has been completed on an interim basis as a corporation-to-corporation agreement on the Lake Health Board incorporated in the Health Authority. With that, we have thought about nation to nation, but this is organization to organization because we are maintaining our sovereign stance. On the Lake Cree Nation will continue a bilateral discussions to establish a long-term nation-to-nation agreement for the facility. At home, we are revitalizing our nation, our culture, our language, our governance, taking control over our lives, our families, our community, and the future of our children. We must continue to require respect for the treaty and inherent rights, to demand the honor of the Crown to be upheld, and the spirit and intent of treaties to be restored. We are grateful for the opportunity to open the Equiscape Detox Healing Lodge at this, and will help them break the cycle of those dealing with addictions. We stay on path to move forward in advocating and lobbying for more programs and services that help aid continuum of care for our community. So that one more critical component, we are thankful and continue to work towards a future where we can heal from the intergenerational traumas that has affected us. Only the Cree Nation has our own health law, which is based on our Cree worldview and holistic programs and services. We will continue on the path to ensure that First Nations laws and the new services will create a bright future for our people and our nations. Further to that, it's important to know that this time that we are dealing bilaterally with the governments on treaty right to health based on treaty. A lot of us have been impacted when I talk about the trauma that still exists. Some of you might not be aware this is the grounds where we went to school. I'm a product of the residential school, and this is part of the site. But that's all I have to say for now, and we still have a lot of work to do in terms of negotiation, bringing more programming. We need to deal with the Saskatchewan Health Authority. And I'm sure that, we'll eventually get what we need in our community for the well-being of our nations. Hi, thank you very much again from the Nescamo. Hi.
Thank you very much, Ugamau. And yes, once again, to a big thank you to Albert Jimmy, and the work that you have done, along with previous leadership too as well. Today's leadership and previous leadership have all worked hard to continue on with providing services for our community in Onion Lake. The next person that we will ask to come up is Alana Ross, MLA, on behalf of Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, Senior and Rural Remote Health. Alana, if you can make your way up here, please.
Thank you, Vernon, and thank you, Elder Fox, for your prayer this morning and for the honor song by the Warrior Society. Good morning, Chief Lewis, Chief LaRock, Vice Chief McCallum, dignitaries, MLA, young, all officials who are here today, and ladies and gentlemen. What a great day to celebrate the grand opening of the Detox Center at Onion Lake Cree Nation. It is my honor to be here today on behalf of Premier Scott Moe, Mental Health and Addictions Minister Tim MacLeod, and the Government of Saskatchewan. Today, I am pleased to announce 50 new addiction treatment spaces at Equiskeet Healing Lodge to help residents who are struggling with substance use. As MLA for Prince Albert, I'm also thrilled that these withdrawal management spaces will be available in the north. Not only will northern residents benefit, but services will be accessible to all people across Saskatchewan. It is also meaningful to see how this center will incorporate traditional healing and cultural wellness in its model of care. This informed approach will provide vital supports to patients in their crisis on their health journey. Under our new action plan for mental health and addictions, we have committed to adding at least 500 addiction spaces across Saskatchewan to double the capacity for addictions treatment. With the 15 spaces today, we have announced a total of 198 spaces so far, including 26 post-treatment spaces at St. Joseph's Addictions Recovery in Estevan, 32 intensive outpatient treatment spaces through Possibilities Recovery Center in Saskatoon, 14 inpatient addictions treatment spaces at the former Drumming Hill Youth Center in North Battleford, 60 patient treatment spaces in Lumsden, and 36 virtual spaces through EHN Canada. Our government remains committed to improving addictions and mental health services in Saskatchewan. We recognize that mental health and addictions are a growing challenge across the province and across Canada. Every one of us knows an individual or a family who has been affected. That's why we have invested a record high total of $574 million for mental health and addiction services in 2024-25. In addition, our new action plan is supported by funding that will total almost $50 million when fully implemented in the 5th year of the plan. A lot of work has brought us here this day. By opening this new treatment center, you've expanded addiction services, and offer a safe place where individuals will feel cared for, supported, and equipped to face a better future. Thank you for the important work that you do and for the passion that you show in supporting health and well-being of your community. Congratulations on this day. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much, Alana Ross. Yeah, for addressing you. The next person that we will ask to come up will be Colleen Young, MLA for Lloydminster. Colleen, if you make your way. Astam, we welcome you in our community.
Thank you so much, Vern. So, welcome and good morning, everyone. Chief Lewis, and I just want to say, any time's a good time for a hug. That is about moving forward, and that is part of the reconciliation. Is a big hug. So, welcome, chiefs. Welcome to all the dignitaries that have joined us here today. It is my honor and a privilege to be here today on behalf of Premier Scott Moe, Mental Health and Addictions Minister Tim McLeod, and the Government of Saskatchewan. What a wonderful day. It is a wonderful day. We have worked hard as a community and as a government to work with you, to support you in moving this forward. So I want to say it's an honor to be part of this grand opening of this Detox Center here at Onion Lake Cree Nation. As your MLA and the MLA for Lloydminster constituency, I'm particularly proud that these 15 withdrawal management spaces are located in northern Saskatchewan. This means addictions treatment services will be accessible to your residents and to all citizens close to their home when they are ready to begin their healing journey, because it is a healing journey, as we all know. It isn't a quick and easy fix, and it takes time. But I know with the support of community and leadership that is here and that has worked so hard to get to this point, that you will provide that leadership for your people, for your young people, and for all of them. Mental health challenges affect many individuals. The effects are far-reaching, going beyond the individual, and it always involves family, friends, and community. We all know someone who has experienced addictions, perhaps a family member, perhaps a friend, a colleague. Early identification and intervention can help better manage their health and increase awareness of where they need to find help when they need it. I want to encourage everyone that is here today to continue to provide the support that the leadership has worked so hard to create with the Healing Lodge here. There's a lot of ongoing work that needs to be done, but I know you are all up to it. The addition of 15 new detox treatment spaces at Exquisite Healing Lodge will make a huge difference in your community. It'll make a huge difference to the individuals who are struggling with substance use, and the benefits will be felt across our communities and across our province. And that's why our government was so willing to work with you folks in order to make this happen. As your motto says, I read on the bottom of your sign, preserving the breath of life as it moves forward. That is what this is about. It is about hope and preserving life. Thank you so much. Where's that part? Chief Lewis. Thank you so much.
Free hugs.
Always.
All right, thank you very much, hi, and thank you very much, Colleen. Let's continue on with asking our portfolio in council, Bernadine Harper, to come on up. Some Bernadine.
Tanse no hago magantik, nanaskum na gakyo taga petagutek. Nigang nanaskum mamutawi mau oksewatsun tab mua pati ko anuns. Igo et miu gisigag, imiu na go magisigao. Tapo enuts kai petawa kapim pix ko istamago avernen kagimu oma. Epum kanati tat putawi noma gigawi noski. Minepum kanati tat umitanuts kapim gagi semua. Nanas ko mau keteyak, tigetem no genus kap mo pasko na tsik ospagana. Epm gagi sumusta magwagok, umutanus kawit mo tenga teguma. Natawi hogamit. Nanas ko mau, epm gagi sumutsik, epm gagi sumusta magwagok kakyaw. Koiski ko ekap mispaik, umuto makawit mo tenga tegwaskaigan. Minagay sinuag, kapim timagistik. Kapim timayutik ko kapim utnagi kigay miasni. Ntunay ko ni kakyaw ta kapim pito ko amot suguta, wista kapim skasutik. Kapim skawatsik ni huta tsaguawa, wista ita kapim wansintik megwats. Moy kakyaw kiwan sinuag. Nanas kumt na kakyaw kapit tagutik, minuge, ukiute oguge, kapit tagutik. Nanas kumt na, minuguta ugimaganak. Tug maganim Noah Henry anaskuman. Kapim pix kweta notes. Minawa Vice Chief, Second Vice Chief Dutch Lara anaskum nipigyo go yasi mina. Minawa guta Fourth Vice Chief Craig McCullum anaskum nanta kapigyo go ya. Mino ko giute oguga kapetagute tsuguga. Alana Ross MLA, Nanaskum Nanwutaga Petagutin. Mina Colleen Young, Elgumina, Nanaskum Nani Petagutig. Andrew McCletchy, Vice President in Integrated Northern Health Saskatchewan, Nanaskum Nani Petagutig. Umutan Gutasik, Kagitik, Tipamatu Naski. Nanaskum Nani Pigugoya. Good morning, friends, family, all my relations. Welcome to the land of our land, I'll say our land, our territory, Treaty 6, Onion Lake Cree Nation. Welcome visitors. Thank you for being here today to really celebrate this beautiful day of the grand opening of our Detox Center. I want to thank our Creator for giving us such a beautiful day. And as how Vernon explained this morning, you know, it is a beautiful day out there. Even with the rain, it is a beautiful day. Thank the Creator for cleansing the ground that we walk on today, because it is a cleansing ceremony. And it is a sign from our Creator, because we are walking into a new venture. And it's a healing venture for our people. Our people that are suffering from addictions, that are suffering from, you know, mental health. So many social issues that we see every day. And it's so sad. And it stems from, you know, all the policies that have been set up for our people. We see that today. In Onion Lake Cree Nation, we had 2 major Indian residential schools, 4 sites. Every single person in Onion Lake can trace their roots to either one of the schools. One was a Roman Catholic, one was an Anglican. We had other students coming from surrounding communities, Frog Lake, Thunderchild, Loon Lake, Ministiquin, Saddle Lake. All those students attended the school. And when you look at our community today, you look at our people, you look at our young ones, we see that they're struggling. They are really struggling. And why are they struggling is because they've lost connection to their identity. They've lost connection to the language. They've lost connection to their roots. So that's my message. That's what I learned along the way. I want to acknowledge our past ancestors, our leaders back in the day that really had forward thinking, because back then they had a tremendous strategic plan in place. Even though they were not educated as we are educated today, they had a strategic plan in place. Back in 1965, Albert will remember, the first bylaw that our leadership had set out was a dry reserve. From that bylaw, they started a drop-in center. Albert will remember that too. That's the history. There were about 3 or 4. Vernon Lewis's mother was one of the counselors back then. Late Gus Waskiewicz, my late father, and there was a receptionist there who was the intake worker, as we call them today now. She took the calls and names. They made referrals to external treatment programs. Back then it was alcohol was the addiction. As time went on, you know, as our population expanded, so did our social issues. And as our social issues expanded, our leaders again and our elders in the community looked at the strategic plan. How can we make things better for our people? And that's when they had this, you know, the Equiskeet Healing Lodge came up. While it was under construction, they brought in a program that's called chemical dependency. They selected, I think, about 15 to 20 people to take that chemical dependency program, with the hopes of those people that graduated would be employed in our newly built Equiskeet treatment program, which was a 28-day program. As time went on, times have changed, and we know that our social issues change as well. So our program changed too, from a 28-day program to a 7-week program, because people coming in were not just dealing with drugs and alcohol, they were dealing with post-traumatic trauma, all related to Indian residential school. So our programs had to change, and they had to change as well from the Western to traditional. because every individual has a unique way of healing. Some adapt and can heal towards the Western approaches, which is good, and some to our traditional. So we always have to put those two in balance and make sure that they walk together. So now today we have our detox, grand opening of our detox, a plan that has been thought about years ago, but we just couldn't get it off and go with it. Thank you to our director Albert, to our health board, to the committed staff that took time and effort to really work diligently in compiling information and research on how can we move forward. So thank you to all the people that really, put their heart into this program to make it happen today. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, I welcome our visitors, our dignitaries, and I welcome you to our Treaty 6 territory of the Onion Lake Cree Nation. I'm very proud to say I'm from Onion Lake Cree Nation because we always work towards the future. Forward thinking, visionaries, we need to think ahead for our children and the children that are unborn and generations to come. So I want to thank our ancestors and our elders and all our past leadership, to our current leadership, to our future leadership. I know that as First Nations people, we're not the here and now people, as sometimes we're referred to. We are forward thinkers, we're visionary people. So with that, thank you. Thank you for, visiting us today on our special day. Hi.
Hi, Bernadine. Thank you very much. Again, Councillor Bernadine Harper, Onion Lake Cree Nation. She mentioned a little bit of the history with Equesquite, and she mentioned my mom too as well, and my dad as well. I think about all the good memories that took place here in this building behind us, the Equesquite Healing Lodge. And at that time, Mom and Dad were both counselors at this building, and it's helped a lot of people back in that time, and still today. And the good thing is, we haven't given up, and it's still now it's a detox center, and it's going to help a lot more people too as well. So hi nanaskuma. We'll continue on. The next person that we have on the agenda is Andrew McLetchie. If we can have Andrew come on up here, Vice President, Integrated Health, Northern Health Authority, the Saskatchewan Health Authority. Come on up, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate and mark this very important day with you. First, I want to recognize that we're gathered here today on Treaty 6 territory. Recognizing this history, which Bernadette kind of went into more detail as to the local piece of that history. It's an important part of our future in our efforts to close the gap in health outcomes between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. By knowing the land and traditional people and what this land offers us, it's important to be able to address some of the inequalities that exist across our province. I would like to begin by acknowledging our partners and dignitaries that are here today to celebrate this grand opening, notably Chief Henry Lewis, all of the Onion Lake Band Council, Onion Lake Health Board who are in attendance today, our members of government, MLAs Ross and Young. I'd also like to acknowledge a few others also in attendance with us today. Without their hard work and collective efforts to bring this initiative to fruition, we would not be here to celebrate. Specifically, I want to recognize Mr. Albert Jimmy, the Health Director for Onion Lake, and his entire team, and the members of the Saskatchewan Health Authority and Ministry of Health teams who were instrumental in working together to support this project. As I indicated earlier, it's a privilege to be here today to bring greetings on behalf of the SHA and in recognition of the opening ceremony and the formal announcement of this partnership between Onion Lake Health and the Saskatchewan Health Authority. The Saskatchewan Health Authority is committed to strengthening mental health and addiction services to ensure timely, appropriate access as close to home as possible for those who need support. We welcome the opportunity to enter this partnership with the Ministry of Health and the Onion Lake Cree Nation, and to continue building addictions treatment capacity and access through the addition of new addictions treatment spaces across this province. What we're about to embark on today is the beginning of an important initiative that will positively change the lives of many people. The expansion of an additional 15 withdrawal management and treatment spaces in the Onion Lake Squesqueet Healing Lodge, is another important part of our collective commitment to expand and enhance addiction services to the residents of Saskatchewan and to the Onion Lake Cree Nation. These new spaces will bring more and better access for those who need it and will further complement the services that are currently available. This partnership brings with it excitement and a vision as we continue our path of reconciliation. It addresses a fundamental gap in culturally responsive and sensitive service provision for those who require it and will benefit most from it. And that makes this day extra special while giving us a reason to be hopeful about what we can accomplish together in the future. In closing, I want to wish our partners at Onion Lake Cree Nation and Health the very best in this new and exciting endeavor, and once again express my sincere appreciation to everyone who has worked so hard to make this a reality. Thank you.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us in our territory. In terms of the agenda, we have FSIN Vice Chiefs, Craig McCollum, who we will ask to come up and say a few words. Along with a lot of people don't know that we call each other brother, Dutch and I, with the connection through Mum and having her work within the FSIN too as well. But I'm glad that he's here too as well. Okimau mentioned that he knows all the back roads in the nation, so and I believe that too as well. So nice having you in the community. So if we can have both Craig McCollum and Edward Dutch Leroy come on up here, please.
Dutch is making me speak first. He said, "Don't mess it up." Yeah. No, good morning, everybody. It's so great to be here to celebrate the grand opening of this treatment center, our detox center. Sorry. I'd like to thank the elders that lit the pipe for us this morning and acknowledge Creator for this beautiful day, because it is a beautiful day, just like many have said already. Our people we're dealing with issues that we didn't create. We're dealing with trauma that we just inherited. And so being able to create opportunities like this to support our people in turning intergenerational hurt into intergenerational healing, it's beautiful to see. And so I'd like to acknowledge Albert and Chief and Council for the work that they've done to bring this to life, and all of their staff that did everything that they could to make this a reality today, and acknowledge the MLAs and Saskatchewan Health Authority for believing in the vision that the leadership team had here for this center. And I also want to acknowledge Councillor Bernadine. She talked about the weather a little bit, and I was driving in, and people have said it before already, and I don't want to repeat it, but I just have to acknowledge it because we're in a time of renewal, and it's fitting that this detox center is opening during this season, because it's a new beginning. It's a time for new beginnings, and it's time to be reborn. And the people that come here, the people that access this center, they're going to leave reborn. They're going to leave renewed, recharged, and they're going to go home and create new norms for their families. They're going to break cycles of trauma, abuse, and so it really is a beautiful day. Despite being as cold as it is, I just have a chill. I've just been shaking up here. But it really is a beautiful day because of what it means and what this center will mean for the people that access it. And so I'm really honored and humbled to be here with all of you and to celebrate. And I just like to congratulate all of you. Hi.
Good morning to all of our respected elders, our seniors, chief and council, community champions, and of course our honored guests, our partners from the province here as well. I want to acknowledge as well the pipe ceremony on how Onion Lake is so culturally focused. And it's so important to have those ceremonies along with when we're acknowledging the future and what the future holds for those that have challenges in the different areas. I want to thank Chief Lewis and your council for having that drive, that treaty focus. This is what our forefathers meant when they said medicine chest clause, medicine chest on every First Nation. So acknowledge, Chief, you and your team and the good work that you continue to do on not only on behalf of your people, but for the rest of the province as well, the 74 First Nations that we represent. I want to acknowledge, of course, my brother Vern here, through adoption, through our way, and all the relatives that we have here in the province as well. And of course we've got visiting chiefs and councils as well, and I acknowledge you as well. And you know, to come and celebrate here. Onion Lake is focused on holistic healing the community. And so what happens here is one portion of that healing going forward. Holistic healing starts with housing, starts with our children, ensuring that they have a good house, good sleeping, they have good meals, goes into the education system. And, you know, healthy children learn a lot, it's a lot faster learning as the residential school survivors will understand. The treaty is so important, not only here in Onion Lake, but in the rest of the treaty areas across the land. And we know to our partners on the provincial government side that we do have some disagreements, but those are respectful disagreements, and there's so much we can agree on, like what we're doing today here, to address poverty, to address those challenges that not only our people, but the for lack of a better term, the white people have those challenges as well. So we acknowledge those, and politics shouldn't ever get in the way of focusing on those people, and that's where we come from as leaders. And the chief and the council ensure that we stay focused on what we can work on together to make our communities safer, to make them more productive, and of course an environment which is second to none. Want to acknowledge as well my old friend, longtime friend Albert. I've known Albert forever, and he's always been that community champion. Still working on his golf game though. Okay? Still working. And if I can acknowledge you for your work, you're a true community champion. We need more like you in other places. So as well, on behalf of your provincial organization, chiefs, the councils, and 74 First Nations, we're here to celebrate this wonderful event. And we look forward to having more celebrations, whether they're graduations, whether they're openings of other developments, but more importantly, the work that goes forward in the bilateral area that is so important to not only Onion Lake, but to the rest of our treaty partners across the land. Ego say hi hi, have a wonderful day.
Hi, thank you very much, Ugamos, FSIN, Craig McCollum, and Brother Edward Dutch Leroy. Iksama, in terms of our agenda, we have gone through all the dignitaries that we had asked to come up and say a few words. We don't have him on the agenda, but he's standing up over there. Albert, you know, you've been very instrumental in having this Equespeak, this detox center come up. Maybe if it, just to be, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I would like you to say a few words too as well, if you can. That's them.
I just got up because I was going to tell him we're going to do a sign ceremony or reenactment of sign ceremony. That's why I got up. Anyway, I'd just like to thank all the visitors for coming to celebrate, a very great occasion for the community of Onion Lake, but also for the rest of the First Nations and also the surrounding communities. It's not really specifically for Onion Lake, it's open to everybody, and that's the beauty of it. I think we're really doing a reconciliation, with this project, with both provincial government assisting on the funding and so forth. I just want to, go back a little history. This building behind me is personal, dear to me. It was built in 1987. 2 years after that, the leadership of the day were in a meeting, and I was involved as administrator at that time. And one gentleman, an elder, he's passed on now by the name of Gus Waskill, was one leader too. We were talking, all of us, and he was sitting quietly. Finally, he spoke up and he said, and we were talking about the growing pains of this opening of a treatment center. And then he stopped us. Do you know what you're talking about when you say program? All of us kept quiet and looking at each other. We didn't know about the program, but we were talking about it. And he said to us, I think you need to go through the program 28 days, and then you can come back and talk about it, he said. And all the leadership agreed to go in. And then they turned to me, you should go in too. And I agreed. At that time, I had problems with alcohol. And it was a good time to go in, a rest with a group, so nobody would, zero it on me. So I agreed. Monday morning came, I showed up. None of the leadership showed up. But anyway, there was one staff member that showed up, so I went through with it. Ever since then, I've quit drinking. 1987. So it's dear to me. But I was 42 years old that time. I just want to make a point here. People don't have to wait when they're 42 to start healing. And I've been talking to the leadership and whoever I had a chance. We need to zero in on prevention now. Let's get the young people way ahead of time. Not when they're 42 years old, or when they're at the last stage of, their predicament, that's when we're trying to help them. I think we need to have a prevention program way before with all our community programs, especially education. Start teaching these young people what affects us from the residential school. Maybe they'll start healing way before, earlier, and so forth. That's what I'm hoping that now we'll concentrate on. I'm getting old now, but I can start it up and people will carry on. Thank you. I guess now we'll do the kind of a reenactment of a signing ceremony. We'll have the chief and portfolio counselor or the health portfolio or health board. Are they here? I think the stable back here was set up. Awkward way. Podium.
Dunlop, can we move the podium? This will be part of the of a photo opportunity. Again, it's a reenactment. After this is done, we will have photos, and then we'll continue on with the ribbon cutting ceremony that will take place, I believe, over at the Equesquite doorway. And we'll continue on with a tour of the facilities if you haven't already walked through the building. The tour will take place. And then at noon, we will continue on with a lunch that will be provided. Hopefully it's a hot lunch.